disappointing result for the Cobblers here against Reading. What are your thoughts on the events of this evening?
Yeah, disappointed. Thought a lot of things went against us today. First half, it's a blatant penalty. Let's not get away there. Well, it's a blatant penalty. Now I can see it from here. How the referee and the linesman can't see it between the two of them when his hand has come up. I just can't get my head around it. And then Reading, who are in a tough moment at the minute, you score that goal, you go 1-0 up there, now got to do something different. It's just they're the moments where we've got to get right, and there's just too many of them now which is going against us, which I'm seething really about it, and I'm not really one for the referees to come at them, but then to show only 3 minutes at the end of the game as well, when there was 7 minutes at the end of the game on Saturday. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't want to have a pop, but some of the decision making tonight from the referee I thought was really poor, and in them moments we need them to be strong enough to make them decisions, and then it can change it on a head, and then it gives us a 1-0. If we put the ball in the back of the net from the penalty, we go 1-0 up, we then may go into half time. It changes the whole perspective of the game, the whole way it's going to be played. So yeah, I'm really, really disappointed in that. I'm disappointed in the manner of what we conceded the goal, which was really poor on our behalf. But look, we've been in a good moment. I don't think they outclassed us, don't think they outfought us, don't think it was just that moment, and they punished us for it. And when we had our moments, we just didn't show enough quality.
I don't want to labour the point, but the frustration about bad decisions by the officials is there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to watch them suffer, don't you, to a large degree?
Because we know right away. Now we're going to go in there, and when we ask her what she's going to say, which she said to the fourth official and what they explained, it was in a natural position. Your hand coming up when the ball's going over here is not a natural position. The kid must think that there's someone behind them, so that's why he's done it. But I've seen it from here, as I said, 50, 60, whatever yards we are away. She can't see it from 12. So Abigail's, I mean, and then, not to labour on the point, we had a big meeting, right, in the summer about people standing in front of the goalkeeper. Now, their number 9 stood in front of the goalkeeper. Then I got told, oh, yeah, but they can do it once, and then once they do it, then he threw his leg up as Ross was kicking it, the next kick. Abigail gave us that meeting and told us that they'd be getting a yellow card. Then book someone for time wasting. Then we've had 8 subs. I mean, come on. I don't normally come after the referees, but I just think the ones what we've had up recently have just been really poor, and it's affected us. You look at Wickham, that moment, in the first 5 minutes when Nathan Wheatley goes through, the keeper picks her up outside the box. That moment there today, you go 1-0 up, it's a total different game. So yeah, just disappointed really, and look, I'm disappointed with a lot of other things, and that'll be between me and the players, but yeah, they've got to get that right, and I think everybody in the stadium knew it was. So it's just disappointing, and anyone who's watching at home.
Was it a little bit, in terms of the performance tonight, Kevin, was it a little bit after the Lord Mayor's show? You had that fantastic comeback to win at Doncaster, but maybe not quite reaching those levels tonight.
You've got to remember that we're heading where they are. You've got to remember that they're fighting, they're getting lads back, that they're all fighting for a cause to try and get themselves back up the table. These have spent big in the summer to get a team, and they've been able to get a few more of their players out tonight. So they're no slouches. They're a good team. They're a good team, and they haven't, I think, lost since August. Yeah. So you've got to remember. So it doesn't matter where they are. They haven't lost at home since August, and that's what we want to do and produce it in our Sixfield. So you've got to show them respect, and I think we've done more than enough to match them and get something and walk away with a point tonight. Now, whether that be a decision from a referee giving us what we should deserve, or whether that be in us getting a bit more quality, what we showed like we did the other day, then albeit that's what it is really. So yeah, disappointed, but look, we go again. We've got a big game again on Saturday. We're back at home. I want to get back to winning ways. I want to get back to winning ways quick. So yeah, big 72 hours before we go back to Sixfield.
We'll talk about Luton very shortly, but just a final question about the officials. They played a big part in our post-match discussions in recent times. Is there anything you can do about it, or do you just have to accept that things aren't going your way in terms of decisions at the moment?
Yeah, no. Look, I don't want it to be about Tim. I don't want it to be about the officials. I want it to be about us and what we are. But when I'm gonna call it when I see it. And I think when everybody else sees it and they haven't, I think it's a real poor decision, and I think that's a really, really poor decision. And as of some of the ones what we've had over the past few weeks, I get that they're going to make mistakes. I get that, but that's an easy one tonight. That's an easy one because I've seen it. The fourth official's seen it. He didn't want to admit it.
We've looked at the TV replays, Kevin. It's blatant.
Yeah, it's blatant.
Yeah.
The fourth official's seen it, but he didn't want to admit it. Between the two of them, but you've actually got to say it as well. You have got an assistant referee who's another 15 yards away from him, and between both of them, they can't come to a decision. That's a pen. Look, it is what it is now. Look, we've lost the game and we move on. But when I see it, I'm going to call it. I'll be. And all we'll get is now looking back and on reflection that it's a penalty.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Right. Let's be positive. We're looking at a big game on Saturday against Luton. I don't want to make excuses for your team, but you're still missing a bunch of key players, almost a team's worth out tonight. Any of those likely to feature on Saturday? Any of those players who are close might be in contention for a match against Luton?
Yeah, I'm hoping so, but we'll just take it as it comes. The next 48 hours will tell us a lot and see where we're at. But look, it is what it is, where we are. I'm delighted. We're sitting, mid-table in the league. Did anyone think we'd probably be there? Probably not. Did I believe we'd be there? Yeah. And what we've got to do is keep proving people wrong. But I'm just more disappointed tonight in not my team, and that's what's disappointing me even more, because I would have been disappointed, but I feel like we deserve something tonight. I really did. I know they had a few decent chances, but that's when we've had to change system. We've had to change it. We've had to change it to try and get back in the game like they would have done if we would have been able to go 1-0 up. So, and they're the things what happen in football. But we'll take it on the chin, as we always do, Tim. We'll be smiling again tomorrow. We'll be back to work, and we'll be looking forward to what's going to be another tough one in this league, which is obviously going to be Luton, who just got a new manager in. Trying new things, but hopefully we can spoil the party there.
Yeah, it should be a mouth-watering prospect against Luton at the weekend. Jack Wilshere, you will have crossed swords with him in your playing days.
Yeah. Worked as a coach at West Ham as well. That's how old I am towards him.
Yeah.
So hoping that I can hopefully catch them early, and we can get back to winning ways, or certainly a positive results anyway.
I will just ask you one more question about the officials. I'm curious to know.
You're after me.
No, I'm not. I'm not getting into trouble. It's the last thing I want to do, Kevin. Believe you me.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious to know from a kind of routine perspective. Do you get the chance to speak to a referee after the game? Do you get a chance to knock on Abigail Byrne's door and say, "Look, what was going on there? What happened?"
Yeah, but we're not allowed to show them the video, which I don't get. So there's no real point, because they only see it afterwards, and then in the aftermath of everything, then we get a report back saying, "Oh yeah, now we've seen it back." So it's quite strange that we're not allowed to go in with a bit of a video and show them and see what the reaction is there. But I think it's because then they don't want to sort of be under pressure in that moment either. So will I go in? No, I won't be going in. But I might send Colin.
I always think that refereeing decisions are so important, aren't they? Because you're in a safe position, you're doing well at the Cobblers, there's no pressure on you. But if you're a manager under pressure and you'd seen that decision go against you tonight, that could lose you your job, couldn't it?
Well, I'm sure if it was the other way around, Hunty would be absolutely ballistic tonight, But he's obviously knows that he's got away with one, and what it's done is turned in his favour, and he's got a win. And I'd be the same. I'd be the same if it went the other way. And we won 1-0 here, and we got away with a penalty. But it's just the way this is at the minute. But yeah, I think more often than not, I think. But the obvious one they've got to get right.
Who'd be a referee, Kevin?
Certainly not me. Thank you very much, Tim. Cheers, pal.